What's going on, everybody? My name is Joe Merritt, and this is going to be our third video in our short introduction to learn to play the guitar. So what we're going to go over today is we're going to go over the key of C. We're going to go over the difference between a chord, a note, and a scale, and then we're going to learn the F chord. So first things first, hope you guys have been practicing. Hope you're using the tips of your fingers. Hope that you're holding that guitar right and you remember how to tune the thing. So the first thing that I want to go over is what's the difference between a chord, a note, and a scale. So by now, if you guys watch the other videos, you know that a note is just a single strum of any string that represents a note, which represents a letter, A through G and repeats. Those are our notes. If we play more than one at one time, that's a chord. If we play a string of notes, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, that's a scale, right? So that's the difference between a chord, a note, and a scale. Today we're going to learn the C scale, the C major scale. Now, each key, which just means a collection of notes and a collection of chords, has a different scale associated with it. Basically, we just move it down the neck just like we do our chords once you learn bar chords and things. The C scale is the easiest scale because just like the C chords and C, F, and G, there is no sharps or flats. So all you really have to figure out are just your notes, A through G, and it repeats. For the C scale, we're actually going to start on the E note, which is going to be our sixth string, our fattest string. And we're going to go E, open, F, first fret, first finger, G, third fret, third finger. And we're going to repeat that. We're just going to walk through the notes from C to C, all the way down the fretboard, all the way down the strings here. So E, F, G. Then you're going to go to your fifth string, which is going to be A, middle finger, mid fret, B, third finger, third fret, C. Then we're going to go to our D string, D, middle finger, middle fret, third finger, third fret, E, F, and then we're going to go to open G, G. We're going to go to our middle finger, middle fret again. That's going to be our A note. That's the only note on our G string. We're going to go to open B, B, first finger, first fret, C, third finger, third fret, D. Now we're going to go to our open E string, which is going to be E, and then F, and then G again. So just like the top one, just like the sixth string, the first string, of course, is the same. It's tuned the same, only it's a couple octaves different. So to repeat that, it's going to be E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. Just like that. And you want to practice doing that forwards and backwards, but do it really slowly at first. I know you're going to want to do it fast, maybe even play some open notes. Just do it really slowly at first until you get the hang of it, until you kind of understand that. Now, here's the trick. Once you have kind of figured out those notes, and we'll go into how all that moves in a next lesson probably. Once you have all those notes, your open notes and your closed notes, you can take that collection of notes and move it down the neck, and it's a different form, different position of that same C major scale. Now, when you play scales versus playing chords, that's when you get into doing riffs. All that is just a scale. So you're just manipulating those notes that are part of that key in different fashions, you know, doing pull-offs, bends, but all that is a scale. So we're going to start with that C scale, real simple, real slow, and then we're going to progress from there. And you guys are going to start seeing how all this kind of flows together. Now, the other thing that we're going to work on is we're going to work on the F chord. Now, the F chord is pretty simple. If you're playing your C chord, hopefully you've been practicing your C chord, all you're going to do is you're going to take your first finger and you're going to bar that first fret. So you're really going to get both of those strings. Both those strings, first finger, first fret. Sorry for my work phone going off. Let's turn that bad boy off. All right, first finger, first fret, and you're going to get your second finger, second fret, third string. So our first two notes sound like that. Then you go third finger, third fret, fourth string on our D string. That's your F chord. And you can do a full version, which looks like this, adding all 4 fingers. But starting out, you just have to do this simple version. So first finger, first 2 strings, first fret, second finger, 3rd string, 2nd fret, 3rd finger, 3rd fret, 4th string. That's going to be your F chord. So just practice some simple up and down strums, switching between your F chord and your C chord. And now you're starting to play guitar. And you're doing it outside of tabs. Now, when you guys look at tabs, because I'm sure that most of you have at least dabbled a little bit if you found these videos and you're trying to really learn, tabs operate usually off of scales. It just tells you the number. So it doesn't tell you what finger to use or not necessarily what note you're playing. But a lot of times if you're doing riffs, they're just showing you the scales. Okay? And if you're playing chords, they're just telling you the chords to strum and the strum pattern. You guys can use that and you can kind of fool around with that. The reason I'm creating this method and the reason I'm creating this course is because, like I said in the first video, if you guys start to understand this and how the notes move and the different terminology, you can take it and you can play anything. Now, one last thing I want to point out, I'm going to start doing PDFs of these lessons. So if this is something that any of y'all are interested in, just hit me up in the comments, say yes please, or sounds great, where do I download it? It'll be totally free. It'll be attached to the video in the bio. Let me know if that's something you guys want, just because I'm not a super good video editor. I haven't figured out how to put this stuff up on the screen, but I can certainly do a PDF for you guys to download each lesson so you can start putting it all together when you're practicing. And the other thing that I did want to mention as well is if it's kind of hard to play your strings, like if your fingers don't naturally slide up and down the neck and it doesn't feel kind of smooth to you, you either need some new strings or you guys need to Google what string lube is. So basically you just clean the old oils off your guitar strings and it just kind of lubes them up so your hands can really move. It's not a big deal when you're doing chords, but as you progress with scales and riffs, you're going to want to be able to really move up and down that neck. Lastly, when you get done playing your guitar, take a rag, wipe the strings down, wipe the fretboard down, the oils on your hand, whether your hands are clean and you're not a sweaty person or your hands are not so clean and you are a sweaty person, still corrode the strings and it makes it a little harder to play. Now, I'm going to start doing some shorts on picking out guitars. Hopefully, you guys already have some kind of basic guitar, but I'm going to show you guys some different quality things as well. So stay tuned for that. And if you haven't, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It helps me with the algorithm, and it helps me have time to be able to sit down and do this. So hope you guys have a great day. If you got any questions, leave them in the comments, and talk to you soon. Peace.